Man, I love this. I love South Texas.
The Kansas City Royals select Blake Mitchell.
Corpus Christi John Paul II are the state champions.
South Texas, we're super proud of the baseball, and it's only going to get better.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the South Texas High School Baseball Podcast. We've got another San Antonio episode for you guys. I know that I was just over at DST. I drove what felt like forever out to the west side near SeaWorld to get to these guys. So I'm sitting here with Dustin Saenz, a familiar face for a lot of you Corpus Christians and South Texas people being from Corpus. And I'm here with Michael Cuevas, San Antonio native. And also these two guys play for the Washington Nationals organization, so they are no strangers to each other. And now they're working out at the same place at DST here in San Antonio. So we were able to make this happen. I was going to originally film with Dustin, and he said, hey, you want to get Cuevas on as well? And I said, sure. So here we are. I'm glad that you guys made the time, and I'm happy to be here with both of y'all. So excited for what we're going to talk about.
No, I appreciate the offer, bro. I really do.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
I appreciate being able to hop on. It's always fun.
Yeah. So we'll start with you, Dustin. Obviously, you're from Corpus. Give us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you went to high school and then where you went to college. I mean, it's a little obvious, but.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised from Corpus Christi. Graduated in high school in 2017 at Richard King High School. Played 4 years there, varsity all 4 years, and then ended up committing and getting a scholarship to Texas A&M University. And since then, I haven't looked back or regret any decisions. So
Sweet.
It's been fun.
Awesome. And I know that you didn't go to college, right?
No.
Uneducated.
Two different routes.
I wouldn't say uneducated, but I was still top of my class in high school.
Okay.
But yeah, no. My situation was a little bit different. Didn't get any big looks like that, so just figured why not kickstart it and get to where I want to be right then and there.
But you were committed somewhere.
I was committed.
Yeah.
But it wasn't A&M.
No, I know, but it's
But
still
yeah,
So-
I was committed.
school.
So you went to Brennan?
Yes,
Was
I
it?
did.
Okay, so you're from San Antonio.
Mhm.
You went to high school at Brennan.
Yes.
Where were you committed to play in college?
At first I committed to RGV.
Okay.
And then I ended up decommitting, and then after that it was UIW.
So you signed right out of high school. Did you get drafted right out of high school?
Yes.
So did you know that you were going to be drafted, or did it kind of come as a surprise?
A little bit of both. So in like the middle of my high school season, my senior year, after a game, I ended up they handed it to my dad. It was like this little packet of paper or something. It had like a Washington Nationals tryout on it. So I ended up doing that. I can't remember when it was. I ended up doing that, and they gave, the whole, what's your name, where you from, where you go to school, like, okay, we might be in touch, and then
Like a questionnaire kind of thing?
type thing. And then I actually did have to fill one of those out. So they sent that to me. I filled out this whole questionnaire. I remember one of the questions was like, what do you do with a shopping cart when you're done grocery shopping?
Really?
Are
Put
those
it-
still a thing nowadays?
I was like-
I think so. I don't really know.
I have
but
no idea. And
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
haven't,
put it back in the thing where it goes in the parking lot. Like, do people not do that? Like, I don't know. So I filled that out, and then I ended up getting a call from someone with the Nationals, and they were like, hey, like, if we do end up taking you, it'll be on the third day. So just heads up, but like, obviously can't promise anything. I was like, yeah, no worries. And then honestly, I forgot. It was the third day of the draft, and I was at Chick-fil-A. It was a short day at school. I finished my 2 finals, got out early. It was like 12 or 1 o'clock. I went to Chick-fil-A, and then I got the call. I was like, oh dang, that's today, huh? And then I answered, and he was like, yeah, congrats. Like, you're drafted in the 23rd round by the Nationals. Like, congrats, call your friends, call your family. Like, this is super cool. And then he hung up. I was like, huh. All right.
Here we go.
And then, my high school coach called me. I don't know. I guess they were keeping up with it, but my high school coach called me. My select coach called me. And then I called my dad. And I have no idea. Still, I have no idea how they knew.
Yeah.
So you were at Chick-fil-A by yourself, just eating after school?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was fun. I was in there. I was eating my chicken nuggets in the car, and
So from the moment that you got the call to when you put pen to paper, what was it, like 2 days, 1 day?
it was really quick. Yeah, I got that call, and then I want to say, I don't remember where it was.
Did you
It was on kind of a
consider
blur.
going to college, or did you?
I did
was it pretty
briefly.
easy for you to like, I'm gonna go play pro right away?
I did briefly. So I ended up talking. It was Hallmark at the time for UIW. He just went to UTSA after that. He ended up coming to my house actually, and he was really cool about it. Like he didn't try to persuade me to go to college or this or that or anything. He showed me this PowerPoint, and it was, hey, these are the stats of, pitchers that get drafted out of college versus high school. And like, these are the percentages of who makes it and this and that. Mm-hmm. Like at the end of the day, it's your decision. He was like, I think you would really benefit from college. But yes, it is your decision. And then, at the time when I talked it over with my dad, it was just like, hey, what's the ultimate goal? And that was, to be a professional baseball player. And he was like, then kind of why not waste your time? Because there's obviously, I'm sure he'll get into the really good experiences in college. But for me personally, I just figured I would be able to learn a lot more and be at a certain spot where I wanted to be a lot faster if I just went right then and there.
Okay. Yeah. So you, within a couple of days, you were signed.
Yeah, they actually wanted to fly me out to Florida really quickly. That's where the spring training, where the facility is. They wanted to fly me out there within days of me signing, and I hadn't even graduated yet. So then my dad kind of had to take over that, and he was like, yo, he's still got to graduate and attend his graduation and this and that. And then once I finally got to Florida, I want to say it was a week or two after graduation, my dad had to co-sign my contract with me because I wasn't 18 yet.
Wow.
So that was fun.
Wow. And so how old are you now? 21?
I'm 23.
23? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been
a while.
6 years?
Yeah, 6 years, going on 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. And yourself, Dustin, you play 4 years at King, and then you end up at A&M. Mm-hmm. Before that, though, I want to go back on a little bit of what got you to King and all that. Yeah. So I don't know how much you remember, but for me, my memories of playing 12U, 11U ball are super clear. And I remember playing the Oso Tigers every single weekend and getting absolutely smoked by you guys.
Dogs on that team,
dude, yeah, you guys were stacked. They were so good. And
really good.
Y'all were super good. Y'all would go play in y'all would qualify for the Pony World Series.
World Series and all that in California.
Yeah, y'all went to California. I think y'all went to Florida one year.
I think that was I don't think I made it that. Oh no, we did. Yeah, we made it to Florida, Tampa.
So I played with Mike Trevino and Derek Trevino and those guys. Mm-hmm. We were the 361 Whitecaps.
Yeah.
You probably remember beating us down every now and then. So there was us. There was a Whitecaps, and then there was
There's another Centon team, right?
There's a team from Mathis. It was kind of a combination because I'm from Mathis and I played with that team, and then I went with Mike. Mm-hmm. But basically for Pony All-Stars, when we played a sectional tournament one year in Portland, we basically combined teams.
Oh, okay.
So Mike and Derek Saldivar from Mathis, we had all played together before, and we basically took the best 6 or 7 on both sides.
In the area.
Yeah, and made a team for the sectional all-stars. So I remember that, and we were the South Texas Pirates or something like that.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, we were gray and maroon for that tournament. And then I played with them a little bit more, but yeah, dude, we would play you guys, and I distinctly remember facing you. Was it Ian Miller? Hector Gonzalez. Will Shire. Yeah, Shire. Michael Garza.
Aaron Sanchez.
Yeah, all you guys. I remember, man. You guys were
names.
so good, bro. They were so good.
Names.
We hated playing you guys. We loved it because on a really good day we could compete.
Exactly.
But you guys were super good. Yeah. I remember that one year we played in Portland. I think I might have been 12U or 13U or something. I remember I was pitching against you guys in the semifinals or something. And I think it was Ian I hung a curveball and Ian just went up and hit a tank off of me. And as soon as he hit it, I knew I turned and I looked and it went over the road, and I was like, that's actually incredible. My fault because I hung a curveball and he just smashed it. But I remember y'all run rolled us 10-0, and then we come back and we play y'all from the losers bracket, and we beat y'all like 4-2. And we're like, okay, like we could actually win this thing.
could win.
And the top 2 teams advanced. So like we're both going to advance anyways.
Yeah.
But it was a matter of who's going to come out on top.
First,
and then we played y'all again in the championship, and it was like, I think we lost like 8-4 or something. Like,
not bad.
it was a little closer. But yeah, so I have a lot of memories of playing against you guys, like seeing like the powder blue, like the Oso Tigers, like, dang it, they're here. Like, dang, man.
We had the pinstripes too. We had like an all like baby blue.
Yeah, man,
like,
they had it
They had a
good.
nice little
I
setup.
don't think we played y'all, but like I think Corpus teams would come up here,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of talk about a Tigers.
Dude.
We had like the Clemson Paul.
Yeah.
Okay,
logo
yeah,
with like
yeah,
baby
yeah.
blue.
Yeah.
Because I know there was a Dallas Tigers team
Yeah,
too, and they were pretty
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
But
And
we
like
heard a lot about those Corpus teams.
even now at the Oso Pony Fields, like I don't think it's there anymore. I think it's been
The names and all
the
that?
yeah, like the banners
Yeah,
from when you
yeah.
guys would make it to the World Series. Y'all are like the only ones because y'all were so good. I know that a lot of those guys ended up going to Carroll.
Yes.
And was the plan for you guys to play together and go to the same school?
It was always a possibility. It
Okay.
just always depended on that living situation with the boundaries of like King and Carroll
Mm-hmm.
during the time. But I think I was pretty set on going to King from like the
Really?
get-go. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. And then obviously when that new school was built, I had the opportunity to go to
Vets?
Vets. Yeah, but I mean, I spent 3 years at King, and I wanted to spend my last year
Yeah.
at King.
Plus, you guys
Senior
were pretty
year.
good.
And we were good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that school, King, and like wearing that green and white was amazing. I made some good friends, coaches, teachers, staff wise, like everything. So
And you guys had those cool striped uniforms.
yeah,
Y'all would wear the
like
stirrups.
like a throwback.
The
Astros,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. Those were some good years for King, man. And that I remember those years were super competitive in y'all's
'cause
district.
Ray and Nick Lofton on the other side.
Yeah,
And we
exactly.
had, like Carroll and all those other
And
guys.
Carol Moody.
Moody too.
I don't know if Cal Allen was still 5A at that time. I think they were, but I don't know if
They
y'all were in the
were.
same district or
Yeah,
not.
Nah, but I do remember that Moody game at Whataburger.
Yeah,
A bit, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that one haunts me.
But yeah, so you end up going to King, and you spent 4 years there. So was it you that played with Action during the summers?
No, so I was kind of all over. So I played with Team Mizuno out of Houston.
Okay.
And then I played with a little bit of the Banditos, and then I played a scout team for in Jupiter, Florida.
Okay.
But I was pretty much, my team was Team Mizuno.
Okay.
During the time, I would always play with them every summer in high school. So yeah, that was my team.
Okay. So when did your recruiting really ramp up? Like when did you start getting some offers? And you remember the first offer that you got?
A&M Corpus. I committed there actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I was going into my sophomore year
Okay.
of high school. But yeah, I went to A&M Corpus. Held my commitment for some time, and then I remember going to a tournament for high schools, called Team Texas in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. I hit my first 91 my junior year, and I was like, I just want to see what else is out there, just to see, no disrespect to the island, because I know all those guys over there.
Yeah.
Good relationships with all those coaches, and just wanted to explore. Got more exposure, and I ended up landing on A&M. They came knocking on the door. I think they saw me in Florida, and I talked to the recruiting coordinator at the time who recruited me was Dustin Saenz.
Okay.
So I spoke to him, took my visit, and to me right then and there, it was a no-brainer.
Really?
Yeah. And I wanted to compete in one of the best conferences in all of the nation, and so I thought it was a great opportunity for me moving forward. And I know my family was excited. I know my coaches were excited for me and my fam. So, like I said earlier, I don't regret my decision. I think it panned out the way I wanted to at the end of the day. And yeah, so that's where I was, and that's where home was for the next 4 years for me.
Seeley recruits you.
Yep.
Was it Childress
Childress at the time.
at the time as head coach? Okay. And he was there up until through your senior year, right?
Throughout my whole career there.
Was it the year after you graduated that Schloss came in?
Yes. So the year in 21, he came in 22.
Okay.
So I already left that year before. I got drafted and then graduated.
Okay, cool. When you were a kid, did you have any like preconceived teams that you like really wanted to play for? Like, and I guess
Say it.
Should I
Say it.
So growing up, I had a room at my old house, and it was completely burnt orange with a Texas Longhorn fat logo right over my bed. And I don't know, like I went to Austin, it just got busy. Like I don't like too busy crowds or anything. And at least in College Station, it was kind of secluded, like out of the way in Houston. It's its own little town. Yeah. So that was also part of the reason why. But yeah, I grew up a Vince Young fan, Colt McCoy, Shipley. Like I really love Texas, and as I grew up, I kind of just drifted away from it a little bit. But and like I said before, I also wanted to play in the SEC too. Yeah. And at the time they weren't, but now they are. So
did Texas offer you?
Yeah, I took a visit there. Yeah. I did actually. I grew up going to those camps too. Okay. in Austin, so like I had a little plaque of like Bush Falk Field, and but yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I think my heart drove me towards Aggie land and like to be there in College Station, and like I made so many good relationships over there with Rob Childress and Seeley and like all the other like players and staff that was there. So they really helped me out. They guided me in the right direction while I was there for the 4 years. And so yeah, I was very fortunate and blessed for that opportunity for sure.
Sweet. Whenever you set foot on the campus of A&M your freshman year, was there a culture shock just being so different from high school?
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever played it in front of that many people before. And like at that point, you're playing against other grown men. Like I was 17, 18 years old. I'm facing 22, like 21, 22. And yeah, there's a little culture shock for sure. Those jitters hit you in your first start.
The yips.
Yeah, and you're just like, all right, let's get through one, and then we'll worry about the next one. Let's try to lay this foundation first and get comfortable. So that was one thing for me. And eventually I got my feet a little wet each and every other week, and got a bigger opportunity on my last year of A&M, my senior year in 21, and I ended up being the Friday guy. Yeah. So that was a huge opportunity and blessing for me, because being a Friday guy in a weekend rotation at that level, it's pretty huge. Like you're a guy that they're going to want to rely on, and that goes throughout every division in college, you know? So you're that guy. They need you to show up and do what you know best, and that's what I worked for the past 3 years before. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like I loved it. It's like you get the full college experience. You get the football games, the basketball games. You get to see that 12th man that they know and they love so much. So it's honestly like it's a great experience. It's a great experience, and I know there's other colleges out there, universities that are probably just as good or even better, but there's a place for everybody too.
Okay, so you become the Friday night starter your senior year.
Yep.
When did you start to get an idea that you would be drafted?
So that fall, so the year before was COVID year, and that year was a 5-round draft, right? Yeah. And I was like, you know what, I think this would benefit me more if I went back for my last year, just to see what I can do, because I had a good fall, and I ended up hitting like my first 95 there, and I started to get a bunch of like conversations with other scouts, like one-on-ones, and I was getting tagged in a bunch of like articles for like top 150 prospects, and I think that's when it kind of sunk in, like midway through the season of that last year, And come draft day, I had my advisor at the time, and he was just telling me like, hey, like, I think you have a really good chance of going day 2. Like, prepare for anywhere between like 4 to 6 rounds. I was like, okay, like I'll be waiting. So draft night rolls around, day 2. It's like I don't even remember what time it was, probably like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And I'm sitting there with my family, and I get a call, and it's from Washington. And like, hey buddy, like this is Washington Nationals. We're gonna select your name in this year's draft in 2021. And I ended up going in the 4th round. And I think 2 days later, I'm in DC signing a contract, and then I had to come back home, pack up my things, and then head to West Palm, and then start to get to work. So it was a quick turnaround, but it was a experience that I was blessed to see and like to have, and my family as well. So when I was down for that week or so before like taking off, we had like a little get together with everyone, like friends and family. So that was awesome too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember following the draft, seeing you get drafted. Obviously, everyone's very excited for you, and to see not only you but also you both playing with the Nationals is pretty cool. Knowing both of you guys,
teammates. Yeah,
exactly.
Small
teammates,
world.
right? And this past season in AA, right? And like maybe the year before.
Yeah. So pretty much almost.
I think it was like half the year.
Every year.
Yeah, almost
played,
all of them.
Yeah.
I was in
We played in
Fredericksburg when
Freddie.
you first got there.
Low A, high A, and double A. Yeah.
How's the minor league grind been for both of you guys?
It's real. It's like I always tell my dad, like, you gotta love the game of baseball, and like you gotta buy into it, and if you don't, you either sink or you swim at times. And I think it's like people always say, it's more mental. It's a mental game at the end of the day, and as long as you get through that mental block and you know and you have a plan on what you want to do with your career, because it's your body, it's your career, then now you start to open up your eyes, and like you get to see what else is out there, and like you get to just get better around yourself and other people. So that's also like one of the perks of pro ball, because you're surrounded by 100 plus something dudes who are all really good and drafts like eligible to like play at the next level. So you're competing against some of the best every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I don't remember if somebody said it to me or if I saw it somewhere, but it was like minor league baseball is where you really find out if you love baseball.
yeah.
It really weeds out the people who kind of just got paid or were good at it and did it for a paycheck, and the people who actually really love it. And then, yeah, kind of like what you were touching on a little bit, like it's people from all over and different countries and all over the United States, where it's like, you know, even though I never went to college, like I'm still learning from all the guys who did about like, you know, routines in college, or like how to sequence a little bit better, or just, you know, even like locker room presence and how to be kind of like an adult, especially being one of the younger guys. It was always like how to act even off the field too, where it's a very mature, like, hey, we know you're young, but like you got to grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And then there's like, you get to a point where like you don't know everything. Yeah, you learn something different every day. Like I came out of college, he came out of high school. Like he was younger, so like I couldn't imagine what he had to learn either, and what I'm still learning. Like I know we're both still learning right now, and that's also just like you being like in love with the game, and you just buying into what you want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So
as far as playing in Fredericksburg together, what has been, I guess, Fredericksburg and Harrisburg, what has been y'all's favorite city that you've gone to play in so far, whether it be in single A or double A? Or do they all just kind of like, there's not much going on here?
There's
a couple.
Yeah, there's some that are really solid.
North Carolina's always a good time.
Yeah.
Like good people, good weather.
Honestly, it might be a hot take, but I really like going to Reading.
Reading's not bad.
They sell out every night.
True. I didn't get to go because I had my injury, but I heard Hartford's pretty.
Hartford was really nice. Yeah, Hartford's like dead center in the middle. of
Connecticut, right?
Yeah, Hartford, Connecticut. So like you're driving through downtown. Their stadium is sweet.
Yeah, I heard that one's a really good spot.
They have
to go to.
really good crowds
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that was really fun.
You guys go to Binghamton?
We do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I've been to Binghamton.
Really?
What brings you out there?
So I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a university in Binghamton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They play in I think it's like the Northeast Conference or something like that. Like they're D1, but they're mid-major.
Yeah.
Well, so I work with this company out of Houston that we do like college facility tours, and we basically go around showcasing new facilities and programs, stuff like that. So I've been to a lot of colleges across the country, and 2 years ago, like one of the first trips I went on, we went to Binghamton, New York, right? Binghamton University. We flew into Syracuse. We drove down to Binghamton, and I'm like, what's in Binghamton? Like, I didn't think it was that nice of a town. Sorry if you live there, but maybe it's gotten nicer now. But what happened is they had a donor that remained anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Donate $60 million for baseball. For the baseball program.
It's a lot of money.
They said, this is for the baseball program. Do whatever you want with it
Just
for the baseball program. So they built this baller 3-story indoor facility. Like you would think this is like a Power 4 like SEC facility. Crazy. Like it's so nice. And it had just been finished when we went. So I was in Binghamton for like 2 days. We were there doing that project. I'll send you guys the video whenever we're done. But yeah, it's like crazy. Like the university there, the baseball facility. I don't know if you guys ever be back there and like maybe for whatever reason the Binghamton field rains out or something. You guys practice on because they have turf at the university.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really nice. I'm not a turf guy myself, but
Yeah.
it's really nice for what it is.
I'm not a fan of
As a ground ball pitcher, I hate turf.
Yeah.
Despise it.
Well, cool. So another big thing that both of you got to do recently, you both got to play in the Arizona Fall League this past season. And I guess you guys have only been back for a couple weeks?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah, roughly.
So
It's 1 year.
from the end of the minor league season, when do you find out that you're playing in the Fall League and you're going to go play another, month and a half?
Yeah. 2 weeks before we ended.
Yeah,
I
I'd
think.
say it's about 2 or 3 weeks before the affiliate season ends. You'll get a call from like a farm director, and they'll say like, "Hey, like, just want to let you know like we're inviting you to play in the Arizona Fall League. Like, if you don't have any issues with that, like we'd love for you to go out there." And then you end up either saying yes or explaining why you might not want to, and then you kind of go over that with the farm director. But besides that, yeah, it's a pretty early. You have time to plan and figure all the stuff out for it.
So you have the opportunity to decline playing?
Yes and no. It's kind of like in college, you get an optional morning workout.
Yeah. But like at the end of the day, like that league that you get sent for, or you get invited for over there, like you rarely hear people decline that because that's a really like good league and it's a good opportunity to like show your face and showcase your stuff to other 29 clubs.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
especially because it's a smaller pool of people playing,
exactly.
and you guys are sharing a team with 4 other teams or something like that.
I think we had the Twins, Rockies,
Yankees,
Nats, and then
Diamondbacks.
D-backs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the only people that do consider declining or end up declining are it's more like injury related, whether they're coming back from injury or dealing with some side stuff too. That's really the only reason people would
Like
decline.
if they needed some extra rest or something.
Yeah.
There's no need to overdo it.
Something's
Play
bugging
for
them a little bit. Like,
6 weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. So as pitchers, are both of you in starting roles?
No, he's a starter. I'm a reliever.
Okay, so relieving and starting. So in the Fall League, how often are you guys throwing?
I was throwing to start it. I was throwing probably once a week.
Okay,
in the starting
so you
role.
probably got like 6 starts.
Yeah, I would say 6 starts,
I think you got around 6.
6 or 7. Yeah. My last week there, I had 2 starts in 1 week.
Okay, and you started the championship, right?
I did.
You guys actually won the championship,
Yes, we did.
We won the thing,
which is pretty sweet.
it makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
You know, like for those 6 weeks that you're over there in Scottsdale, so it makes it a lot worth it. It makes it fun.
And while you're over there, is it the MLB covering everything? Like, are you guys up in hotels? How does that work?
I believe.
So I know
I don't remember who covers
MLB
housing.
pays for like your time being there, but I think the housing and all that is done through the org. the
Okay.
org you're with. Yeah.
Okay. How did it work for y'all? Were y'all in a hotel or were y'all in a temporary housing or something?
I had a house. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
there in a 3-bedroom house with 2 other Nationals guys, 2 other pitchers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the rest of us had apartments a little further north. Just 2-bedroom apartments. They're really nice.
Really
too.
nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a really nice house. So they set us up really nice over there.
Okay, cool. And then like for meals, are they feeding you guys every day?
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
facility we'll have kind of the standard 2, maybe 3 meals a day, really just depending on
What time you play?
What time
yeah.
you play.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only time slots there are 1:30 and 6:30.
Okay.
So you either get breakfast and like a late lunch or an early lunch, or you get lunch and dinner after post game.
Cool. So it's really just a matter of you guys getting to the facility.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then everything else is taken
Pretty
care
much
of.
off days are you're on your own.
Yeah, just
Okay.
Yeah.
groceries and car stuff.
Cook,
The only
cook
thing
some
you're really
food.
Yeah.
you're really paying for.
Cool. And I figure, is the national spring training, is it in Arizona as well, or is it in Florida?
No, it's in West Point, Florida.
Okay, so are you guys relatively unfamiliar with Scottsdale?
So that's what we were talking about earlier. Like we were like, dang, like Scottsdale's really nice.
It's really nice.
like
It spoiled me.
yeah, yeah. So I haven't played there in like baseball there in Arizona since I was like 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
So this was an actual like true experience to like
Yeah.
be around like other major league teams,
Yeah.
and minor leaguers. Yeah. So it was fun. It was a great experience. Met a lot of different guys, like a bunch of really good hitters and pitchers, and so you learn and you find out, especially over there, like what works for you best, like pitch wise, and like sometimes like you throwing 100 doesn't always like work out at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
you gotta learn how to pitch at times and like know who you are as a pitcher.
Yeah. I went to Scottsdale for the first time in June. My in-laws live over there. My sister-in-law and her husband, I guess that's also my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
They live in Scottsdale. They're from San Antonio. My wife is from San Antonio.
Okay.
And they're from the north side. But yeah, they've lived in Scottsdale for like 5 years, I think. So we went to visit them. And this was my first time being in Scottsdale. I've been to Mesa like last January for work, but I didn't like get to do anything. And I heard that like Mesa is not like the nice part of anything.
Nah.
sorry
It's
if you
not bad.
That's
It's
further
not bad.
away though.
sorry if you
right?
live in Mesa.
No, because that's where the Solar Sox are. It was only like 10
Like
minutes
10
down the road
minutes,
from
yeah.
us.
But yeah, so we were in Scottsdale for like I think a week in June, and yeah, it's like it's a really nice place. It's kind of weird. I feel like every house there is like the same color, so it's hard to realize that it's a nice place because everything looks the same
outside
and it's
is-
dusty. I have to like almost like focus on what I'm looking at. Like, oh, that is really nice. Yeah, I can see it
That's how
now.
ours kind of looked. Our house over there, like all the houses look the same, but the inside was actually really. Like,
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, everything's super expensive to actually like live there. And we were so
Golf isn't cheap.
yeah, exactly.
Golf is not cheap.
Yeah. While we were there, obviously we're there in June. It's freaking hot outside. Everyone's like, especially being from Corpus, where it's humid all the
Humid.
time, everyone's like, it's a dry heat. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
like, it feels good. And I'm over there and I'm like, I feel like I'm in an oven.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. I do not like this at all. Like, I prefer the humidity. It's like just too hot for me.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm soft. I don't know. But
No,
I didn't.
mean,
the heat
we
over there.
experienced it the first 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe?
the first like week and a half we were there, it was like
115.
108 to 113. every
Golly.
day.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
How cold would
Felt
it
like
get
I
at
was
night?
here.
Would it get pretty cold?
So the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, the last week it would get down to like 50s.
felt
Okay.
nice.
50s at
yeah,
night.
it felt
Yeah.
good. Yeah. It was
Okay.
very doable.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, the apparently a lot of people over there will like keep their house at like 78 degrees or like 79 degrees because the electric bill is so high.
That makes
And I'm
sense.
like, that's crazy.
not me. Yeah.
Like I can live in a warm house, but not like that warm.
Whatever
But-
happened
It's a
to
little
the
too much.
normal temperature being like 71?
Yeah,
In a
exactly.
house.
My house
Yeah.
in Corpus is at 74.
I
I
was gonna say
actually
71, 74 is your
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
between there is perfect.
I actually live less than a mile right on Ennis Johnson and Holly by the Oso
Oso?
fields. Yeah. So like if I look out right where if I get to Ennis Jocelyn from my house and I look out, I can see the Oso fields and like what used to
Oh,
be
yeah,
Aspen
yeah.
Heights right there. It's like across diagonally.
Okay, so you're like, if we're looking at that Bronco field, you're
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we bought a house in that neighborhood. yeah, let's see, what else we got to talk about? You guys got any questions for me?
Yeah, actually, I got one. When did you decide that like videography or like photography was like you?
Yeah,
you wanted to do that.
So I started playing around with the camera my junior year of high school. My mom had a camera from when I would play baseball all the time. And it was like a photo camera, but you could record video. Super low quality camera, like just something to like have. And I started playing around with it. And then I figured out like, oh, I can record video on this. So I started, messing around with it. And then I made these hype videos for our football team that was not good. So it was just like me making videos.
Came a long way, huh?
I know, yeah, exactly. My senior year, I buy like a camcorder that like has the internal zoom, like you see the videos like that. Yeah. Yeah. Not that old, but like that type of camera. And so I start, making videos with that. The quality was a little better. Yeah. I'm like, okay, like this is actually really fun. Like I really enjoy this. So then I go to college at A&M Corpus, and I buy my first like real camera like those, but like a little smaller. And I spent like $800, I think, on a Sony A6300, and it was like amazing compared to what I had been using. So I figured out how to use that, and I took pictures and videos, and I started getting better and better. I got a job.
You were doing like family sports,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
Like
so I got
basketball,
exactly,
and like baseball. Yeah.
So I got a job with the athletic department there in Corpus at the university, and I was working part-time as a student. I eventually became like the video guy for all of athletics. And I basically did everything for all the sports. It was a lot, but like I was only ever part-time as a student, and I had an opportunity to be full-time right before I graduated, but the pay was like $36,000 a year, and like you would have no life. And I was like, no, like I'm super involved at the church I go to, and I enjoy hanging out with friends, and if I take this job, then I like have to be at everything. So I would be sacrificing all my time for not a lot of pay. And I was already doing everything. So like, I don't know. I didn't really see the need to go full time. The only thing, the only good thing, I might have gotten like health insurance, but like I was still on my dad's, so on my parents' plan. So I was like, I don't really.
Not really a necessity either.
Yeah,
don't need that right now.
Exactly. So I stayed part-time basically until I graduated. And what I did was I became friends with the actual conference office staff. So they brought in some new staff gradually, and then kind of flipped everyone, and I got in really good with them. And now I do a lot of work with the Southland Conference office, and I know the commissioner really well. Tomorrow they actually might be here right now in San Antonio, but UIW is hosting a FCS Division I playoff game tomorrow. That's right. So I'm gonna go shoot that game. I texted the guy yesterday, James, that works in the office, and I was like, or not yesterday, but on Wednesday or something. And I said, hey, I'm going to be in San Antonio on Saturday, and I'm not doing anything. Can you get me into the UIW game to shoot, and I'll send you guys whatever, just, as a favor for getting me in. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I'll be at the UIW game tomorrow. They're playing Villanova. Yeah. So it should be a good one.
Yeah. Speaking of football, you were just at a big time game.
Yeah. So, so I've been to a handful of college games this year, especially, but I went to one a couple years ago. And all that stuff is through that company that I work with in Houston. It's called Sports Dissected on YouTube, and it's all the facility tours and stuff. But let's see, this year I went to.
You just got back from somewhere.
I got back from BYU.
That's right.
Yeah, in Utah.
How beautiful was that stadium?
It was amazing, dude. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. I got super sick right when I got back, and I was like down for like 4 days, but. It was awesome. It was cold. It was like 29 degrees while we were there. It was so cold. It was a night game. It started snowing. I was like,
Pennsylvania gets a little bit of snow.
I was like, I'm not built for this. Like, I'm so cold right now.
Yeah.
And
he said BYU.
Yeah, BYU.
And Penn State. I'm done. That's all.
No, yeah, we were in Utah. That was my first. Even worse. That was my first time in Utah. Yeah. But it was awesome. It was really cool. Provo's a cool place. BYU is a beautiful campus. But the first game that I went to this year, football game, was Wisconsin and Purdue. So we went to the University of Wisconsin, and we, as part of the video, they just posted it actually yesterday. we got to shoot the football game and everything about the stadium. So what I really care about is like the cool action moments within sports. Like shooting the facilities and stuff is part of the job. So like, obviously I'm going to do that and I'm going to do it well, but I care about like, I want to knock everything out and then I want to go and sit and shoot the rest of the game to get like the touchdowns and all the celebrations, stuff like that. Cause that's what I can like really grow a highlight reel and portfolio and make something cool with. Correct. So we went to the University of Wisconsin. They steamrolled Purdue like 52-6 or something like that.
I actually like that university. I was there for the Northwoods.
Really?
Yeah. So it's in Madison.
Yeah.
Kind of right down the road.
Dude, Madison is awesome. Like I would absolutely go back and hang out there. It's an awesome college town. It's the capital. Yep. Everything is like pretty walkable from campus to like everywhere. So I would definitely go back. Like Madison is a really cool place. But that was the first game that I went to. After that, I probably waited like a week later, I think. We went to Georgia. And Georgia hosted Mississippi State. So that was my that was my second SEC game that I had been to. And
that was in Athens, right?
It was in Athens. So we got to see all of the stadium and their mascot, Ugga, the dog. Okay. And I got to take a picture in Ugga's house because apparently that's a big thing. And you're lucky if you get to do that.
Really?
Yeah, so I got a picture in the doghouse. But yeah, so I was like all slouched in there. But yeah, I got to shoot that game. Georgia squeaked by Mississippi State by like 10 points or something.
So you saw a good one.
Yeah, it was a good game. And then after that, and again a week later, I was at Duke University, and Duke hosted Florida State, and they beat Florida State for the first time ever while we were there. So I got to shoot that game. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And let's see, I probably took like 2 or 3 weeks off before I went to Purdue the same week that I went to BYU. But Purdue, we didn't do anything with any games or anything. Yeah. We just did like the nutrition side of things. So I went to Purdue for that. 2 days later, I was in Utah at BYU. And we got to go to a basketball game, and we got to go to the football game on the same day. So that was pretty cool.
So are you going to be like keeping up with this like during baseball season too?
Yeah, definitely. So the podcast, I'll be doing it year round as often as I can, just getting people on that are really any type of baseball, like involved with baseball at any level. That's like the goal, is just to have a bunch of episodes and interviews and have interesting conversations in this space. So I'll do this as often as I can, but what I really, really want to do, and what if I had it my way in a perfect world, what I would do is I would just full-time just make content for like personal content for baseball, like pro baseball players. So like you guys are working out at DST, like I would just show up to DST like 3 times a week, shoot stuff for you, shoot stuff for Jose, like all the pro guys or everyone who's interested. Every month I would just deliver like, you know, each of you like 100 photos, you know, 10 videos that you can post, whatever. That way it builds up like your brand presence. So that way, if a brand sees you on Instagram or whatever, they see like, oh, this guy can put content out and he can like, he has a following, he can promote our product, and it kind of helps you guys because you get product for free, and then I get paid from the actual shoot. So that's what I would do. Like if I had it in an ideal world, like everything's perfect and like no issues at all, that's what I would do.
That's the one thing I did like absolutely love about the Ball League is they push like your name and all your content out there. So like they wanted you to post like reels and like just put your name out there and like just expose yourself.
It kind of taught you how to do it too.
Yeah, we had like a whole class about it, like just putting your name out there, your brand. So
whatever that may be, whatever your brand is, we have a good amount of guys in the Nats work that are big into like hunting and like outdoor stuff, and they like that's them, that's their brand, they kind of run with it, and that's what they post, and then they get some pretty, from what I know, some pretty solid sponsorships that just they love that pro guys are doing that and also posting about it. And it's just
it was honestly it was pretty cool and pretty neat like little idea they had or whatever program they got going on, because I mean media is there 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that they do that
That's
for
where
you
you
guys.
need to go. You need to go check out the fall league and watch some baseball
Try to
games.
get you a fall league.
Yeah.
I'll
get
have
you
to
a-
next year.
Yeah. It's a good time. I think you'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of personality there. A lot of stuff you don't get to see during the season.
Yeah, it's a lot of personality.
Well, they encourage it too, and they tell you in those meetings. They're like, "Hey, we want like whatever. Like your personality is you. Like the game is changing back to what kind of like a whole let the kids play thing.
Sure, yeah.
Like it's on a big wave of that now because people love the excitement. Before it used to just be like real gritty,
Yeah. People
nose in the
mad.
mud, like enforcers, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then it turned to like a stone face, like, hey, you're here to do a job, you do that job, you're done, like a composure type thing. And then now it's transitioning into like you see people a lot more excited, you're seeing more bat flips, more pitchers showing emotion on the mound. That kind of used to be frowned upon from what I understood, where it's like, hey, if you're on the mound, like you're stone faced. Nobody knows if it's a good or bad game, but now you get to see a lot more excitement. Like you strike out the side, like let out a little.
You're allowed to.
Little
Let out a little yell. Let them know. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did either of you give up a home run at the fall league?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
Gave up a lot of singles.
Solo home runs.
Okay.
I give
Solos
up.
don't hurt.
Yeah, they don't. But that one game I did give one up.
Three of them do.
Yeah, that one I did give up in that one game. I think we lost 1-0.
Dang.
So it did hurt.
Sounds like they do hurt.
Yeah, no, they kill you. But at the end of the day, now they don't. But yeah, I give some up. I think everyone does.
Do y'all remember like the worst outing you've ever had, whether it be high school or college or?
I think I have two. My first one was in high school against Carroll. It was my freshman year on varsity.
Okay.
I'm facing like all those like Corey, like guy or Corey. What's his last name? Corey, Isaiah Lieberger, like Joe Mike and all them.
Yeah.
And I think I went walk, hit by pitch, walk, maybe another hit by pitch or something like that. Yeah, that was not fun.
Was it at Cabinus or?
It was at Cabinus.
Okay.
Yeah, I will remember that for the rest of my life. And then my second one was in college where I was playing Texas State on a Tuesday. And they just got the best of me on that one. Yeah. So, but those are the two off rip. And I don't think I've ever had one like that since. So it's been well. I've been good.
And yours?
A little bit of the same thing. In high school, it wasn't. I don't remember having any. And then pro ball. It was my like first time giving up like 5 runs. I just transitioned to starting. Like it was that, and then it was just I was never used to giving up that many runs, and I wasn't freaking out, but I was like. That was kind of like your welcome to pro ball moment. Yeah. Or it's like, some
it's real.
The guys with sticks get paid too. Like, yeah. And I was like, okay, all right, we got to figure out how to manage this a little bit better. And then, since then, I mean, especially being like a contact pitcher, like you're going to have those outings where, I mean, I can't count how many outings I've had where it's been a couple runs. You look at the scoreboard and you're like it doesn't do you justice at all. You look up and you see 8 hits, and then you look at the actual stats. If you have like a score sheet and it's 7 singles or out of those 8 hits, and it's like it's just one of those days. Yeah.
What about you? Do you remember a blowout start for you? Do you have it?
Yeah. So I pitched through high school.
Yeah.
And I'm left-handed as well. Yeah, dude. Where I played at Skidmore, little 3A school, we were not good at anything. And I know the listeners probably get tired of me telling this story, but like
they're not gonna like you. They're gonna stop watching. You keep saying that, man.
I think just the people who regularly listen, not even people from Skidmore, they know where I'm going. But dude, we would lose games like 20-0. Like it was bad. And I remember one year we played. I think we played Mathis. And I think it was the second time that we played him. Might have been like my junior year. Because my senior year, we were actually like not terrible. And we like kind of competed. But Yeah, no, kind of competed almost. But dude, I think I gave up like 10 runs, and I think in the second inning, my friend Andrew, like, because all my friends that are from Mathis are like, I grew up playing with them, and I'm playing against them.
They're a tight group.
Yeah, exactly. So my friend Andrew goes up. He's a big guy, and I think second pitch I throw him a fastball, like kind of like inside middle, and my fastball is like 77 miles an hour in high school. Like, it's not fast. So he just like hits a tank to left field, and as soon as he hits it, I'm like, that's gone. Yeah, it's in Mathis. I'm like, yeah, that's gone. And he's like rounding third, and I look at him and I said, I'm just helping your stats. And I mean, we were laughing about it because I mean,
Good chirps.
Exactly. Like, it was all fun. Like, I remember my best outing ever. I was like 11. I threw a no-hitter against Rockport in the All-Stars.
Really?
Dude, it was electric.
It is electric. Yeah.
I remember 4 innings. We ruled them. We were playing in like Three Rivers. I was throwing gas for an 11-year-old. It was it was awesome. I think we got third that year in like Little League, but in that tournament we didn't advance. But that was like my best outing. And then I only ever hit 1 home run like as a player over the fence. It was in Mathis. We were playing against. Do you remember the Barracudas?
Yeah.
So we played against the Barracudas in like a pool play game, I think. And I hit an inside fastball, and I didn't think I hit it that hard. Like, I really didn't. And I was rounding first, and I saw the ball like go over the fence, and it was rolling up the hill, and I was like, did I just hit that out?
What
Like,
are the chances it was windblown?
I guess there's
give it to yourself.
there's a chance.
No, you think so?
But
because you swung it lefty too, right?
No, I hit right. I hit righty.
Righty?
Yeah.
Okay.
At that time, I was hitting righty.
Okay.
But no, because I think the way the field is positioned, I think most of the time the wind is blowing in. Yeah, blowing
so
in.
You
Big
muscled
juice.
that one. Yeah,
Dude, I know.
big
I was
juice.
so
You muscled
surprised.
that one.
I was surprised. That's the only home run I ever hit, but I would get on base.
I wasn't much of a home run hitter.
I only had one. I think it was my junior year. It was literally the same thing. I hit it, and I knew I barreled it. It was kind of a golf swing, and I barreled it, and I was thinking triple.
Yeah.
Off the bat, like I wasn't even watching. I was thinking triple. I get to the second, and I'm rounding, and I look at third, and he's like stopping me, and I was like, dude, there's no way. Like, there's no way I'm only getting a double. That thing was pieced. It probably bounced off left center and like kind of rolled off a little bit. Like, I should be getting a triple. And then I look at the umpire, and he's kind of going like that. I was like, huh.
Here she goes.
Oh.
That's weird.
Yeah, she went.
That's really weird. And then, it was probably the fastest home run trot anybody's ever seen.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
right. You're
yeah.
trying to get on base, and you
I was
don't
flying.
realize it.
Did you have like a favorite big leaguer like to watch growing up?
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching Cole Hamels.
Phillies legend.
Nice.
Yeah,
Rangers legend.
Texas legend.
yeah,
Rangers
really enjoyed.
legend.
Like,
Okay.
I really like his delivery, and there were a few guys that I would like watch their mechanics.
Yeah.
And I would try to copy it as best as I can to see how I liked it.
Yeah.
And then like you get on the sports science side of things, like when Aroldis Chapman was like in his prime, and he was like
104.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they would do like the sports science and show like, well, he throws so fast because he's like 6'8", he's gigantic.
He's also
7
jacked.
foot stride.
Yeah, his
this and
stride
that,
is
yeah.
like 120% of his body length.
I
So
remember.
Yeah.
by the time he releases the ball,
Yeah.
it's
already
already
on
like
home plate.
15 feet closer.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I would really emphasize like explosiveness off the mound.
Yeah.
That's like for just me doing that by myself. Like no one was showing me that or anything.
It's crazy how far like analytics and science has
Yeah,
like more involved into the game of baseball now.
yeah, it's crazy.
I don't back
Even in
then.
the
I
last
don't.
5 years.
Yeah, back then, a couple years, like 10 years ago, it wasn't like that.
Not
I mean,
at
I don't-
all.
Maybe, but not
It
that
was
I know
everybody's
of.
throwing
Like,
fastballs at the bottom of the zone.
Yeah,
And
Everyone had-
you're
everyone had
living
the-
knee high. You're getting your ground balls.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no track, man. Everyone had
Yeah.
the jug.
Yeah.
Radars back
stalker
there.
radars.
Yeah, stalks.
Same thing the police officers are using on highways. Like, yeah, it was
exactly. It's
crazy.
evolved, man. And it's pretty awesome to see, especially like the youth, like getting
Yeah.
more involved with it. Because, you know, especially here, like in Corpus, baseball's big. It always has been big
Yeah,
down there, but like you can tell it's growing more and more.
yeah, definitely. You gonna be down in Corpus next week for Jose's event?
Yeah, I think we both are. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We gotta get this.
You come down?
We gotta get this swing right first. For that softball game.
Gotta go to D-Bat and
I
see
think-
those high ones.
Are both of you playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I
I think
love it.
last year I was it was a little nerve wracking on that first AB. I ended up hitting a pretty good swing on it.
When was the last time you took a swing before that AB?
Non-golf swing?
Like like bat,
Like an actual
in hand,
bat?
like
Since
actual.
then. Oh, that was the last time.
No, I mean like before that softball game.
A couple of days before.
Just practicing.
To get loose a little bit.
Yeah. Hold on, let me not look dumb here.
Yeah, no, you gotta prepare for that. But no, I'm excited. I know he's excited. So it's gonna be a fun event.
Yeah.
I know last year it was pretty big. I don't
Yeah.
expect it to be bigger this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's the word on the street. So
Word on the
we'll
street
see.
is it'll be a lot bigger.
I'll be there doing all the video stuff. So I'll see you
sweet.
guys.
The one
I'll
you,
see you guys around.
yeah, the one you made last year was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Oh, the intro.
The intro. Yeah.
Dude, that's like one of my favorite videos I've ever made.
Yeah, that's
I
a
love that
really
one.
good one. It's a really good one.
I'll have to update it every few years, as more guys play pro.
That's
and
the
go to
one
college and-
they show like on the scoreboard, right? Or that was
Yeah,
the
they showed it
intro?
on the scoreboard. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. But yeah, I'm excited though. So yeah, we'll be there next weekend.
Have either of you gotten to spend any time at all in DC? Just like being in DC.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fredericksburg, our low A, is like 45 an hour away from
Okay.
there. So like on off days, you'll get a couple of the guys, go up to DC and kind of hang out.
You'll see all the
everything over
monuments
there.
and-
Yeah.
Awesome.
All that. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Parking's not fun.
I've been
Driving
to,
through DC is not fun.
I've been to DC one time and it was snowing while we were there. We were there for like a day and a half.
That's kind of
It was
sweet.
great.
Yeah, that's kind of sweet.
It was
Cherry
actually
blossoms? No, what season?
Yeah,
is
that's
that?
winter.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I don't remember
Might be
if we
spring.
saw any,
Might
but
be spring.
It might be spring because
yeah, I don't
That
think we
makes a
saw
lot
any.
more sense.
We were there in December 4 years ago, and it was my two best friends and I. We were on a road trip, and it was during COVID, so like everything was closed and shut down. The only things you could go to were the outdoor monuments, so like the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. But it was so cold and snowing, and then it started raining, and it was like ice cold, wet, and you're like actually freezing. And I was like, all right, guys, I'm done. I'm gonna go to the hotel and I'm gonna get warm, and dry. And they were like, all right, we're gonna keep walking around. And I get to the hotel, and then like 5 minutes later, they walk into the room. And I'm like, oh, you guys couldn't take it anymore? Like,
Yeah.
and they're
What
like,
happened?
yeah, I got same for us.
Yeah,
So
I remember the first time I went to DC. I was very surprised on how like clean it is.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
It's very clean.
I would absolutely go back like anytime. I really enjoyed DC.
Yeah.
DC, and I really like New Orleans. I was just there this past weekend for an early anniversary trip.
I've
So
never been there.
it's a pretty cool spot.
I've driven through it.
Yeah, I've been through it.
Good spot.
You drive everywhere. You drive everywhere.
Yeah.
Spring training, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, cool. I think we've touched a little bit of everything. So if you guys got anything else, if you don't have anything else, we can wrap it up.
No.
Anything
I
from
think we
you?
got to do this again a couple years down the road or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see
Yeah.
where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll both have that debut patch by then.
Yeah.
Maybe
Absolutely.
you can come see us both in DC.
I would love to.
That would be the only reason.
I would love to. Anytime you guys want some, game day in the life.
We could
type
scrape some
stuff,
coin together and get you out there.
That'd be pretty
For sure.
cool.
Just
Yeah.
let me know. I'm more than happy to get out there.
For sure, brother. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you and your time. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Glad
appreciate you having us on.
Yeah. Glad we could make it work.
yeah,
So.
I know we've been fighting for this for a little
Dude,
bit.
yeah, literally like a year and a half. Me and him have been like, all right, let's plan the
Sorry,
podcast.
guys.
Let's
Yeah,
plan the
sorry.
podcast.
It's
So
been a busy year.
yeah,
Busy
definitely.
year.
So we made it happen, everybody. But I want to thanks again for watching and tuning in. We really appreciate the support from everyone. New face for the South Texas people, Michael Cuevas. So be sure to follow him and his career and show him support as well. But yeah, we appreciate you guys watching and listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. So we'll see you later.
Peace.
Adios.